Welcome to Spry, a podcast where we embrace the most difficult parts of life: caregiving, aging, death, and dying, with courage, grace, and dignity. We focus on cultivating a mindset of constant personal growth and staying energetic, active, and engaged with the world, even as the years go by. We'll share our lived experiences, all of the tools that we found along the way, and insights from our community to help build confidence and resilience. All right. Well, welcome to our first podcast of 2025.
I can't believe it.
I personally love the new year. I think it's really refreshing, but I've noticed in my world online, my social media, that there's like two camps. There's the new year, new me, fresh start, resolution makers. And then there's the sort of anti-resolution people that are like, stop with hustle culture and you're good enough the way you are. And, the winter is nature's way of telling us to go inward and slow down and all of these things. And so I think that Mom introduced me, or shared a story from this author named Brad Stolberg. And I thought this was like a great way to think about life in general, or maybe life going into the new year. And he says a crucial life skill is the ability to maintain hope and find meaning despite life's inescapable pain, loss, and suffering. It's called tragic optimism. And it was coined by the Holocaust survivor, Viktor Frankl. And it's about acknowledging, accepting, and expecting that life will contain hardship and hurt, but trudging forward with a positive attitude anyway.
Yeah.
And it's sort of the in-between toxic positivity and despair, right?
Yeah, right.
And so I've really been thinking about this idea a lot of like just approaching life with tragic optimism, because I'm an optimist, but I don't believe in toxic positivity. Everything is not okay all the time, and life is hard, and
I tell my kids that all the time.
Yeah.
Life is not fair. I'm sorry. It's really not. It's
Yeah.
not fair in our home, and it's not fair out in the world.
Yeah. But I
want to have that reality.
Yeah. Tragic optimism. There will be loss. There will be suffering. There will be challenges. But I personally I'm very attracted to people with a growth mindset and a learner's mindset. And I always want to be like challenging myself towards growth and having, as Gretchen Rubin says, like having the bigger life, or choosing the bigger life and having a growth mindset. So I love setting goals at New Year, and you don't have to get them all done, but
No, and they don't have to be overwhelming. Like for me this year, I decided to choose a word. I did that last year. I think it was the wrong word.
From last year.
So it was the wrong word. So this year, kind of going along with that, because I chose a word that kind of brought a little bit of positivity into my mindset, right? So my word this year is abundance, because I feel like in the past, maybe especially last year, or just my life, I'm constantly living in a state of never enough, right? Like, I feel guilty. I don't have enough time to read to my kids every night, or I don't have enough money to do XYZ, or I don't have enough time to do the hobby that I want to learn this year. And everything comes from a negative space, right?
yeah.
So I'm trying to shift my mind frame to abundance. I have enough time. I have enough money.
Yeah.
I have enough.
You have the same amount of time as
As Beyonce, even. I have the same number of hours in a day as Beyonce.
That's right.
So that's kind of my word. Like I have enough time to develop a hobby. I have enough time to spend time with my kids, and I have enough love in my heart, and just kind of this abundance. And hopefully if I'm putting it out there, then I'm attracting abundance to me as well,
I
so
like
that's
that.
my word.
I love that. My goal this year, so I turned 49 this year, and I very much have in my mind a state I would like to be in when I turn 50, which is looming, but I'm actually excited about it.
Yeah.
I'm not like afraid of it or dreading it or anything.
And you've
but
got
I'm like
14 months.
Yeah, I've got 14 months.
Right?
So My goal this year is to get my shit together. I think when I had kids,
It would be great if we could play that clip from the cartoon.
oh, from the cartoon. Yes, it's from Rick and Morty. For any Rick and Morty fans out there, he goes off on his sister about like getting her shit together and, get it together. I don't care what you do with it.
Put
You
it in the
just
bag. Just
take it to
together.
take it to a store, museum, whatever you do, you got to get it together. And I think like I had kids at a very busy career point, and I used to be like a person that just had it together, and I just don't have it together anymore. Like I was actually thinking this morning about a friend of ours who celebrated his 40th birthday like 2 years ago, got an invite on the text, but because I didn't like, oh, I got to put it in my phone. Yeah, we just didn't show up to his 40th birthday party. And I'm dying. I'm like, this morning, I'm like, see, here's an example. So like,
Right.
you get an invitation, put it in your
Put it
calendar.
right in the calendar,
Just
in the
do
shared
it.
calendar.
Yeah.
I've actually been thinking because we're not all connected through an iPhone because I don't want my preteen to have an iPhone. Have you seen those skylight calendars?
No.
So it's a digital calendar that just remains on your countertop. I want to look into it more so that the kids can like input their things. So if JoJo knows she's got a birthday party, she can put it in the calendar.
Yeah.
So everyone's taking accountability and everyone has
Oh.
kind of insight into
I would love that, for those like printed birthday invitations
that
I don't
just get
find
lost
about until they're too late.
until an hour before when my son is like, "Am I going to the ice skating party, Mom?" I'm like, "What ice skating party?"
Yes. And our kids are old enough now they can
Yes.
do things. They would
Right.
actually be excited about it. I love
Yeah.
it. What's your vibe for 2025?
Well, because I'm in a different chapter of life than you, yet I consistently fail at New Year's dreams. They won't call goals. That's for soccer.
Intentions.
Yes.
Intentions. Yeah.
So I started writing down, like, I gotta get some discipline in my life. Maybe my word needs to be discipline. Then I thought,
That sounds
that is a
really
punishment.
harsh.
Yeah, that's like a bad
can't
word.
make- like all those New Year's goals, and I'm gonna go on a diet, I'm gonna exercise, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have no sugar. Those are all punishments. So then I started just writing direction. Maybe I should just go in the right direction. And I landed upon, I'm gonna do bite size or little bites.
Yes.
Hmm.
And that's gonna mean all kinds of things to me. Just if I can just do a little bit,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
a little
Better
bit
than
more.
nothing.
And little bites of good things. Like, why am I not a person who eats a whole apple every day? I want to eat an apple, but I have toast instead, or just whatever. I'm going with bite size.
I like that.
I like that a lot. And
Yeah.
then there's tons of
It kind of reminds me of bird by bird too.
Yes.
Where you're just
Yeah.
taking
Exactly.
it,
Yeah.
a little
Well,
bit
and-
at a time.
yeah, and there's so much research that says like consistency, like small acts done consistently over time, that's actually those habits are what will change your life.
Well,
Yeah.
they say you need to do something 13 times for it to stick, and that probably will kind of stick. Gosh,
Yeah.
if I do something 13 times, and starting something is hard, but replacing something bad is harder.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
Yes,
I like it.
that bite size.
Well, awesome. So for me, part of like I've got a lot of different areas in my life that I need to get my shit together on that aren't as relevant to what we normally talk about. But one of my big goals this year, again, because I sort of feel like 50 is a time period where I'm going to
It's the end
sort
of your second act.
yeah, and it's the point at which my body is what it is.
Right.
Right. And everything's a lot harder. Right. So if I do want to take control of my health, like this next 14 months or 16 months or whatever is going to be really critical. So I finally in 2024 found a doctor, found like a functional health person that I can work with to like do this. But of course, I found her, I got an appointment, I had an appointment, I had the conversation with her. She gave me a protocol. Have I done anything with it? No. I literally spent like $200 on vitamins and supplements and creams and like all this stuff. And it's just, I was overwhelmed with like, well,
Yeah.
I got to put that into a schedule.
And it is overwhelming. Natalie and I are actually seeing the same functional wellness doctor we have similar health issues, but then we also have different health
Yeah.
issues that we're dealing with. And I got this vitamin case which you probably should because it has helped me get my shit together. I mean, this thing holds. Let's see if I can pull one out that's got all the supplements in.
Well, yeah,
I mean, it
I have a
holds like-
lot going on.
It's like 16 pills,
Oh, yeah.
and I
You
just
choke
fill
those
it out.
down in one swig.
I take them in one
Oh,
swig.
yeah. You got to do it in
I-
one.
yeah,
Well, I
can't-
do. I
Oh,
do, but
okay.
I don't have 16. But
Yeah.
and
But like this has helped
I
me
need
with
that.
her protocols
Yeah.
because it is so hard to remember. Some things are every other day, some things are in the morning, some things are not. And so I fill these up for me and my husband like once a week so that they're just there. Now, do we take them every day? No. Wednesday's still full. Wednesday's come and gone and it's still full.
there's another one coming. But
Yes.
We're trying. So
Yes.
maybe that could help you.
So am definitely that is on my list. I need to get control over my eczema, which I've also had my whole life. My whole life, my hands have looked like I'm 85.
Yeah.
That was,
I won't name names of the kids that called me grandma hands in
Oh,
elementary
great.
school.
even like the first dermatologist I ever, that I recall seeing, we probably saw them
Yeah.
earlier in life, but I'm like 12.
a doctor.
He
Yeah,
put on those,
says this.
glasses that look like you're examining a diamond or something, right? And he's like, "Oh, your hands," and I'm like 12, and I'm like, "Why do you think
I
I'm
don't want
here,
to hear
dude?"
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm in a much better spot than when I was a kid. But
Yeah.
I do think my eczema is 100% related to internal
Sure.
systems.
It's your gut, it's your
Yeah.
inflammation, and
Yeah.
that's part of this vitamin protocol is
Yeah.
cleaning that out.
100%. It's internal now because and the number of people that are like, "Oh, you have eczema? Have you tried lotion?" Oh, wow.
You know what?
Mind blown. Never
Lotion
thought of
on.
that.
Every time.
Yeah. And have you heard of
Cetaphil?
unscented lotion? Yeah. Cetaphil.
I was like, when the dermatologist tells me, you need to buy Cetaphil. Bro, I
Yeah.
know about
If they
Cetaphil.
sold that in a gallon, I would buy it.
Right.
Like, anyway, but for me, it's no sugar. I did 75 hard, like 2019, I did 75
Yeah.
hard. And that process just revealed like I am addicted to sugar.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to sugar like people are addicted to other things. And so right now I'm microdosing a GLP-1, like microdosing.
Mhm.
I'm not experiencing a lot of weight loss, which would be kind of a fun side thing, but I'm trying that, and our functional health medical professional recommended like potentially microdosing naltrexone, which is what
Mhm.
they give alcohol and opioid addicts. So that would be a next step if this doesn't work. Also no gluten,
Yes,
which
Natalie
is
and I are both
difficult.
going off gluten,
Yeah.
which has
Fun to
been
cook
hard.
for you.
Between us being off gluten and other family members being vegan, it's just a fun Sunday dinner for
Yeah,
everybody.
we could just eat gluten-free and vegan, and we'd only need one
The
meal.
benefit I found though is I bought
Just gonna
these
have a bunch of
gluten.
beans.
I bought these gluten-free brownies because look, I can't go all nothing at once,
Yeah.
right? So I'm weaning off.
It's not a punishment.
Not a punishment. So I bought gluten-free brownies and I pulled one out last night because I put them in the freezer and my husband saw it and he's like, "Well, what's that?" Very excited. And I said, "It's a gluten-free brownie." And he went, "Ugh."
Oh,
If you
so
ever-
then it's
yeah,
just yours.
So then it's mine. He's like,
Yeah.
"If you ever want me to not eat something of yours, just tell me it's gluten-free." I'm like, "Oh, genius."
Yeah.
Because I don't like it when you take my treat. That's my treat.
Yeah. And then the last thing is I need to get back up to date on my, the big exams, right? Like I get a mammogram every year, no problem, but I haven't had a pap smear since I think Josephine was born. So that's like 9 years. So you're supposed to get those every 5 years. And
Yeah.
then I want to do the full body skin cancer screening, which I've never done.
Yeah.
Where I think that's annual or biannual or something. And
Yeah,
Alec and
I've
I
never
both
done
need
that.
to do that. So maybe we'll have like a hot day date at the dermatologist or something. and
Yeah. And
do
I
our
need to
skin
find
cancer.
an MRI. I know we've all talked about we want to do the pre-nouveau full body brain to toe
Yes,
MRI.
pre-nouveau, if you're
but-
listening, we love you.
Please. But I do need to find because it's been so incredibly hard to work through my insurance to get them to cover a breast MRI. So I just need to go find and just pay for it privately
Which
because
they're only like $400 or
I
something.
think they should even be $299. So
Yeah.
it should be easier to be able to do these big exams.
Yeah.
But that's on my list too.
Yeah. So I think that then I'll be all caught up and ready to go. And yeah, that's my list.
For me, it's do slightly more than nothing,
Yeah.
which is what I practiced last year.
Just do
See, that's
slightly
good.
more than it did last.
Yeah.
Small bites.
That's right.
I love it.
Anything else on your mind this year?
No,
That's right.
it,
We're all
yeah.
just going to be on top
trying to
of it.
be better. Oh, I do have my,
Oh,
when we look
yeah.
at
Oh, yeah.
our health, my new big thing is I used my HSA money to purchase an Aura
You
ring.
can buy that on your HSA?
Yeah, it's HSA
Shut
covered.
up.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that may be more
So,
exciting to me then.
I've had it maybe a week. I'm obsessed with my sleep patterns. When it tells me about daytime stress, it asks me, you need to notice what was stressful in this situation. It gives you tips. It monitors your heart rate, your oxygen levels. And to boot, I saw today Queen Rania was wearing the same color I chose,
Aw,
stealth black.
You're
and
queen.
I do love her. And so I feel like it was a good choice.
Janaan gave me the ring sizer. You wear it for 24 hours to figure out if it's the right ring size. And I wore it for an hour and a half and it drove me crazy.
Yeah.
And I took it off and it's somewhere.
It might not be for you.
Make it an hour. Just like,
Yeah.
this is like hat.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
Bite size.
Start with your Apple Watch.
Awesome. Well, we shall move forward into 2025 with tragic optimism.
Yes.
And look forward to more conversations.
I love
Happy
it.
New Year.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.